Hi Madhu, welcome to Motor Capsule.
Hi, buddy.
So thanks for coming. So why did you choose 790 Duke?
Okay. Before I bought this motorcycle, I had ridden Kawasaki Z900, Street Triple R, RS, Ducati Monster, GSX 750, all the naked bikes that were available in Indian market. And I was just looking for one X factor in the motorcycle. So finally, when I rode Duke 790, that initial throttle response, I got hooked up to that initial throttle response, that aggression, that intense feeling that you go through, right? That adrenaline rush. So that made me to buy this Duke 790, and it's so lightweight. And I just wanted to go for one twin cylinder also, because I just wanted to have that fun factor in that initial throttle response. I did not want something to go post 7000 RPM. So that's the main reason I bought this Duke 790, and I was pretty much liked, and I liked the prototype version when they launched it, right? That ad, Duke 790 ad. So since ever since I saw that ad, it was there in my mind that okay, let me see how they are going to launch with the full version of Duke 790. So that's the main reason I bought it.
All right. So what do you think about the performance?
Performance, okay, when it comes to performance, it's on a whole different level. So, twin cylinder, lightweight, easy to handle, and a lot of power in initial RPM. It's a deadly combination, you know what I mean? So unlike inline 4, right, the power gets delivered the moment you open the throttle and you go through that awesome. Sometimes it's scary if you're not used to that. You have to get used to that. So the performance is on a whole different level. I like this bike so much for the throttle response and that fun factor it has got to offer. You know, this Street Triple is 3-cylinder. The other competition, like let's cut that part. Okay, and the mileage of this bike is also around 20-21 if you just keep on cruising at a constant speed from 80 to 120, and I get around 16 to 17 and 15 sometimes if I do a lot of hyper riding. So performance is awesome, man. I like this motorcycle a lot, and I call it as a wheelie machine. It's so lightweight in the front section, right? If you know how to do wheelie, then you can keep on popping wheelie all over the place. If you don't pop wheelie also, if you turn on all the electronics, right? If you just open the throttle, boom. I don't do wheelies, but I'm just saying. It doesn't happen with any other naked bikes in this segment.
So how about the comfort in city as well as highway?
Comfort is the most comfortable motorcycle that I have ever ridden in middleweight naked sports bike. Let me sit and show you. See, the reach to the handlebar, it's so close, right? It's not aggressive, and the riding posture is not committed, something like that, something like this. So the riding posture is so comfortable. As you can see, I'm sitting almost up front, right? And you're not supposed to bend the knee a lot. Like other sports bike, you have to bend the knee like this, right? It will be in this position. It will put some pressure on your knee. But here you sit in very comfortable riding posture, you can see over here. And even it is so easy to maneuver in traffic because of its lightweight feature. And look at the seat over here. You got a lot of room here to move your butt. If you have got fat butt, see, the seat is also wide. If you remember the Duke 390 when they launched it, the seat was so narrow and tight, and the riding posture was kind of tight, right? You were not sitting in a very comfortable position. So they have changed all that, and Duke 790 is very comfortable. You compare it with Street Triple, Z900, GSX, you name it. This is the most comfortable riding posture that I have gone through based on my experience, since I have ridden all these naked bikes in this segment. On highways, you can do touring day long. I have done 600-700 kilometers in a day. Sometimes I have even ridden this motorcycle without stopping for around 150 kilometers straight up. So that is how this motorcycle is comfortable. So that is how comfortable this motorcycle is. So very comfortable. You can just keep on riding on and on with no stress. You don't go through wrist pain, neck pain, or whatsoever, man. You don't go through any stress at all. I haven't felt any stress or any aches in my body whenever I go on some 600 to 700 kilometers ride in a day. So I enjoy riding this motorcycle, man. Very comfortable, very comfortable.
Okay, so what was your previous motorcycle?
My previous motorcycle was Duke 390, and I had owned another 390 before the last 390. I used to have two 390s, so I sold the 390s and then I bought Duke 790. I got hooked up to that throttle response, that intense throttle response, right? That is the USP of all KTM machines.
Okay, is it good for touring?
Yes, it is good for touring. You can do long rides on this as well, but there is a catch point. If you come over here and see the exhaust pipe here, right? This exhaust pipe is very close to the pillion seat. See, this is like a unique design that KTM has done for this Duke 790. And the matter of fact is, if you want to mount a lot of luggage, let's say for example, if you have to do some 20 days touring continuously, you will not be able to mount a lot of luggage because of this, right? If you put any big tail bag, it's going to sit on the silencer and the silencer is going to burn the tail bag. So all you have to do is you have to put some accessories, some customized accessories over here, like the saddle bags and the top rack, so that you can put some luggage. So if you ask me, if you are planning for 2 days or 3 days touring, then you can just put one normal Rhinox tail bag or White Arrow tail bag, put your stuff inside that. They will be done with that. You put your stuff inside over here. It sits on the seat, it doesn't go and sit on the silencer like some slim tank bag. Keep your stuff inside that and you can do touring for around 3 days max without any accessories. If you are doing touring more than 3 days, then you have to have the accessories. Oh, it started to rain. Since it's raining, we changed the location back to this apartment and we have parked our Scalpel over here, Duke 790, in the parking lot, and we'll continue the video from here.
So what are the major problems you faced till now?
Major problems that I have faced so far is the service center. See, I will tell you one thing. KTM has been dealing with Duke 125, 200, 390 for a long time, right? This is a high performance motorcycle. When it comes to 790, it has got a lot of sensors, electronics, 9 level of traction control, launch control, wheelie control, 4 riding modes, quick shifter, auto blipper, and motorcycle traction control. There's so many stuff loaded with electronics, and these guys were not able to deal with this machine because they didn't know head and tail about what to do with this. So I can't blame the technicians or the mechanics because they were trained when they launched the bike. Then after they forgot everything, because there were only 100 bikes in India sold in India. Okay, only 100 units sold in India. So that's the reason day in and day out they were not able to lay their hands on Duke 790. They were not getting Duke 790 every single day to work on it. So for the matter of fact is, to be very precise, they didn't know what to do with this bike in terms of if we run into any small problem also, they will turn that into major problem. So that issue we faced initially, and apart from that, that issue we faced initially, and we escalated to highest level in KTM, and they have been sorting out this issue, and it's almost sorted now, because there are it's almost sorted now. They are assigning some 2-3 technicians, experts in major cities, so that if the 790 owner wants to go to the service center, they can just get an appointment from that particular expert, and both can talk together and go to the service center to fix any problem. Problems in terms of the bike, what I faced so far is minor niggles, okay, like nothing much. It's a known problem in all KTM machines, right? It's like the seepage issue here over the head gasket. So that happens with almost all the bikes, all KTM bikes, right? So they replace the gasket. If there is little bit of leakage, if they see any droplet over here, then we are supposed to change the gasket. Apart from that, there is no other major issues, man. I have noticed the issue was, as I mentioned earlier, only the service center guys. There was no expertise to deal with this bike. Now, after so many escalations, they are working on it, and even the CEO of KTM, they have taken action, and I appreciate that they have taken the right actions, so that they have the necessary expertise to deal with the big bike. So that's apart from that, I didn't find any big issues in this bike. Some seepage, and then what else? Yeah, man, that's it. Even we are in a group, even I am in a group of Duke 790 owners group. There are around 60+ people, owners of Duke 790 across India. I haven't seen big issues. Yeah, sometimes the battery issue. The battery issue is always a known issue in all super bikes. You have to keep riding it. If you don't ride it, battery might get drained out. Apart from that, nothing else, man. So there was one small issue. The water that goes inside the lid, right? There is a drain pipe. That pipe was not working. It was jammed over there. So they had to reroute that water drainage pipe by removing the tank. That's it. All minor issues. So not major issues in terms of removing engine and all that stuff.
So what are the best things in 790?
The things that I like in 790 is the initial throttle response that I mentioned earlier, right? The moment you open the throttle, it just flies. The riding experience that you go through, that's something unique. You don't go through that kind of riding experience in any of the other naked bikes in this segment, mark my words. That's my own experience. I've ridden all the naked bikes. That's one thing. And the second thing is I will sit and show you. If you ride it in city traffic, right? So you don't even feel the weight of this bike. First of all, this bike itself is lightweight. So it's so nimble and agile in corners, even in city traffic, even if it is in crowded situation, right? You can easily maneuver through any route, man. You feel as if you are riding another 200cc or 150cc bike. That's how you feel. And so comfortable. See, I'm 5'10", I can keep my feet flat on the ground. And this is how I sit. It's kind of you feel as if you're riding a regular bike. So that's the positive aspect of this bike. And mileage also pretty decent mileage. If you don't do hyper riding, you will get 20 plus mileage sometimes. And it will run on normal fuel also, but I prefer to go with 95 octane or above fuel rating. And yeah, man, that's it.
All right. So could you please tell something about the maintenance part?
Service and maintenance, okay. I will break it down for you. See, first thing is every year you have to spend around 11,000, 8 to 11,000 rupees for service. You have to take it to the service center because it's under warranty. If you have to keep your warranty intact, go to the service center and get it go to the service center and get the service done. And then you have to change the brake pads. In an average in a year, you have to change front brake pads including rear as well, because it depends on the riding style, how you ride. But in an average in 8 to 10,000 kilometers, you might have to change front brake pad and rear brake pad also. So the cost, the OEM KTM manufactured brake pad will cost you 11,000 rupees for 2 pairs and 3,300 rupees for rear. If you go for non-OEM brake pads like EBC or Brembo, you might end up paying 6,000-7,000 rupees for front and same 3,000 rupees for rear. So in an average 11,000 rupees for brake pads and tire. Every year you have to change the tire despite however you ride. In my opinion, if you clock 10,000 kilometers in a year, 8 to 10,000 kilometers in a year, you have to change the tire. As you can see over here, this tire is almost gone. So this is the stock Maxxis tire, and the pair of tire would cost you 34,000 rupees. And nowadays people are just selling it like gold, like 44,000 and all they are quoting. But in an average 34,000 rupees for the tires, and that's kind of a wear and tear part. You have to take care of the chain lube stuff, right? Once in 500 kilometers I do the chain lube because that is quite expensive, the chain sprocket. So all you have to do is clean it once in 500 kilometers, you ride it or not whatsoever, you take it in dry road, wet road, but just make sure you clean this stuff once in 500 kilometers. One thing I missed to mention, maintenance is like, if you break any part, right, it can be covered under insurance. But if you break the part which can't be covered under insurance, and if your bike is not under warranty, then the cost will be on the higher side, because the spare parts cost is quite expensive. I will give an example. This indicator itself will cost you 3,500 rupees, and the alloy, the rear alloy, will cost you around 68,000 rupees.
All right. Thank you so much, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you for featuring me in this video. And I have my own YouTube channel. I keep uploading content related to Duke 790 and my mighty Hayabusa, and I keep reviewing some other bikes here and there. It's my English channel. You can subscribe. And if you are Kannadiga, if you know how to speak Kannada, I have another Kannada channel also. You can subscribe. I request my buddy to put the links in the description so that you can watch my content as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.